Good morning. We're looking at the Swissy yen here on a 1 hour time frame, and this is May 31st, 2018. So I am trading fibs. I generally look at the 1 hour, sometimes a little bit higher, to get a general sense of where things are going. And in this case, I was convinced in my little pick in mind that the trend was shifting from a downtrend, as you can see over here on the left. We were up at this high. Price kept coming down and down and down, and then over here looks like it's trying to shift gears. Nothing particular in this general area until I saw this high right here surpassing this high over here. So once I saw that, I was looking for a possible change in direction. Plus we're getting lower we're getting lower highs. Oh, there's a high right here. Sorry, you can't see it. It's off the screen. I mean, there's a low right here that is lower, much lower even than this low right here. So we have two lower low, a higher low. Okay, let's get this tongue working here. We have a higher low, and then here a higher high, and then another higher low, a higher low yet. And where this arrow is, this is where I woke up this morning. Or well, turn the charts on anyways. And this is somewhere around maybe this would be 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so I'm looking at the charts here, and I see these higher highs, higher lows, etc. So I'm thinking, this could be headed back up. So as I'm looking at this here, I'm thinking, okay, so I put a fib on this, and to see about getting in on a retrace on Fibonacci levels. So let's go over to the 15-minute, and we'll be able to see there why I thought this was such a good idea. Okay, so here's the 15-minute on the Swissy yen again, and I'm looking at this fib right here, from here to here, and that's a good 70 pips, 80 pips, so it's a pretty big stretch. So I wanted to start off my my first position slow. Now the Swissy was pretty strong, so I had my first pending sitting at 110.30, and when I saw this come down here with two bars, didn't quite hit my second entry at 21. Actually it did, but the spread kept me out. So as I'm looking at this right here and it goes back up, I'm thinking, I better it may not be going much deeper than that, because look at how strong it was going up from here to here. Almost only two red 15-minute bars in about 3 hours time. So as I'm looking at this and I'm thinking it's going to continue to go up, once it got up to right about here, I put another entry in. So that's why here it says 11 times 2 lots. So I entered a single lot on each one, and then moved on up, figuring it would move on up from there. But instead, it started to creep down. It did finally take in my second order at 21, and that was 3 lots. So, and then it kept sinking, so it took in my third order at 112, and that was 4 lots. So now I'm going, okay, well, this one could reverse on me, but I had another one. Now, I don't know how well you can see this, but right here it says the the 70 level, which is something I like to use. It's halfway in between the 61 and the 78, is where I was thinking about putting another trade, but instead I put it at 3.4, which is halfway in between the 70 and the 78. Okay, and here I put in 5 lots actually. Now over here it says plus 27 on 2 lots, or 2.5 lots. That's so far what I've taken out in profit on that one. And I closed half of it once it reached up about right about back in this area right here, because it was getting to the bottom of these wicks right in here, and I figured if it was going to bounce someplace, it might bounce there. So I figured I'm going to take half of this off and see what happens. At that point, I moved my stop loss to about +2, somewhere right around here. And so I didn't have to worry about that last position. I'm kind of getting ahead of the thing here. Once price started coming back up, and it got to this area around where the red line is now, which is the current stop that I have on my remaining position of 2.5 lots. It kept going up here and then bouncing back down, going up here and bouncing back down. So once it reached up here for this on this 4th bar right here, what I did was I started removing some of the less attractive trades. So I took off these 2 half lots for a total of -11 pips. And then once it reached 21, because it did spend some time around 21 too, and if you look over here, you see this area right here is an area that could be more resistance. So I took off one more lot once this one got into profit, a pip, 1 pip. So I took off 3 lots here, and then once price reached, let's see, also, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, I took off this one, and then also at the same time I took off this one right here, because of figuring if this 21 over here was going to hold, then the 21 area anyways was going to hold, then I wanted to not have any trades go negative quickly on me. Unfortunately, they didn't. From this point here, it did go up to right about here, as you can see, and then it actually came back down to, this looks like about 15. So, I thought, well, I'm glad I got those 2 off. But meanwhile, I still have my my lowest entry going, which was 5 lots. And it started heading back up here. And once it reached about 32 or 33, right up about here, I removed half of those 5 lots. Excuse me. So there's still 2.5 lots remaining, and it made it actually to today's high. And at that point, I changed my stop loss from right about here, from about +5 to the current stop loss, which is about +12. It's around the 15 level. So now we'll just wait and see what happens with this. I currently don't have a take profit. If we look back at the 1-hour chart, with these higher lows and higher highs, we could be continuing on up, as the Swifty has been in something of a downtrend for a while along with the euro. So anyways, that's what's going on. Worst case on this, I'll make some pips. I don't know the exact amount yet, but I'll be in profit, at least something decent for today, which is all you can really ask for, and we'll see what happens. Quick check over here. I don't have live charts on this account. Currently, price is right about in this area right here. So, I'm not going to change anything. If we break this high here, I'll probably move my stop up some more, maybe to at least this area here, the 21, 22 area. We'll just see what happens, because up here I was actually at one point up about 55 pips, which is pretty nice. But it could take off and go a lot further. If it is, I'll hitch a ride with my smaller remaining position. So that's about it. I had a similar thing yesterday, except everything ended up in profit. So I'm going to continue looking at observing directions on Fibonacci's and basically trying to get in on the retraces, because price is going to retrace anyways. It always does, no matter what's happening, unless it's a Swiss bank intervention or something like that. Then there's a strong move before retraces. But we'll see what happens here. And so that's it for now. This is Daryl signing off. Cheers.